subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
What's going on, guys? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I'm in the building. And what's up with you guys? Welcome to the live broadcast. We're doing our thing, chopping it up as we always do, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a great week so far. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you are doing great. Before we get started, let me shout out some people in the room, some of the regulars, and we're going to get some calls early because I want to hear from you guys, see what's on your mind. Let's shout out to Sister Wani, the lovely Wani. We got Wayne Dretzky in the building, Ernez, the lovely Stephanie Michelle, Hoodoo in the building. We got Dr. Feeling Free. We got Grinds TV, Sir Mike, Melanie, Highland, so many other people. Ty, what's up? How everybody doing? We're going to get some calls in a minute, guys. We're going to get some calls in a minute to see what's on your mind. What I want to talk about tonight, man, I want to talk about the importance of words, man, using the right words, because people talk about fighting and revolution and activism, and people often talk about doing things physically, turning up physically. There's a time and place for everything. But the key component to any type of activism or even warfare itself is wording, man. We got to really understand words. This is what our great master teacher, Neely Fuller Jr., tried to convey to us. That's why he did books that were word guides. He would teach us word guides, how to use words when you're dealing with these white supremacists. Words are very, very important, because you can fight all day long, but when you're done fighting, somebody's going to have to sit down and negotiate. You got to negotiate terms, and you got to have a mouthpiece for that. When you look at many rebellions, and one thing I like to bring up a lot is the Seminole War. The Seminole War, that was Black people who was clicked in with some red natives, and they were turning up. It was really the Black ones turning up down in Florida. They were fighting the U.S. Army and beating them with smaller numbers. So even though they were giving them that work physically, one of the Black Seminoles, a gentleman by the name of Abraham, he was called the sense bearer. He was the one who knew different languages. He was the one that they sent in to negotiate some of the treaties and certain edicts and policies. They had a designated mouthpiece, the sense bearer, Brother Abraham of the Black Seminoles. Y'all look him up. Very, very infamous Black Seminole. They would send him in to do the negotiating. Just like in the civil rights movement here, you had people like Malcolm, people like Dr. King. They would basically negotiate certain terms with certain presidents, like Lyndon B. Johnson and those people. They would sit down and chop it up. They were the peaceful, quote, non-violent. That was a front. That was good cop, bad cop. That's what they were doing. That was very smart. We in the Black community, we were doing what the white supremacists do. They play good cop, bad cop. And we were doing that in the 1960s. You have Dr. King and those people come in, oh, I'm nonviolent, we're going to pray and we want to do the right thing and yada, yada, yada. But they knew in the streets, they had people ready to turn the hell up. And there were people turning up, protecting Dr. King and people like that. So you better understand how that good cop, bad cop thing works. You got to have some negotiators. You understand? That good cop, bad cop thing is very important, because, see, we get fooled by that. We think that people in the dominant society they will, on the surface, seem like they're opposing each other, but they're on the same damn page. You understand? That liberal and conservative white supremacist stuff really gets black folks. See, we think that a person is not a white supremacist if they're not yelling and screaming, waving a Confederate flag in our face. You see, that's like the good cop, bad cop. You'll have like the Proud Boys and some of the Patriot Fronts and some of these white extremist groups run around, and then you have some white liberals saying, "Oh, "Nana, this is not cool, dude. This isn't cool, dude." And you think that they're really opposing each other, but not really. Speaking of white supremacists, let's get Dr. Davinsky in here. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Dr. Davinsky, real, this is real world learning here. Now, Dr. Davinsky is an Australian suspected white supremacist. He's pretty friendly too. He's very friendly. He comes in here extremely friendly. But Dr. Davinsky, man, this guy.
What's the hostility, Tariq? I spent a week in New York. I was handing out reparations to the FBAs. I bought a mixtape in Times Square. I gave some to some panhandlers. I am a man of the people. Like, I've done a lot for the black community, so I expect some respect.
And man, we've done a lot for your community, for the suspected white supremacist community. Sir, I just purchased 3 bottles of mayonnaise. So that's going to go in first. There's a lot of things that we do for the white supremacist community. I just bathed my dog, so there's no more wet dog smell all over the place. So
Yeah, Tariq, how do you feel about the final Teva boss, the Afrikaans, getting refugee status in America? You think you've met Tevas, you've never met the Afrikaans.
oh yeah.
What's your plan with the Afrikaan Teva?
Oh, well, hey, man. The question is, do they think that they're going to have the same disposition here that they do over there? Because it's a little different. Do you think they're going to get like a wake up call?
I don't know. It's like they're used to like the Fufu Bantu, but they're not used to the FBA Bantu. So it's gonna be a bit of a culture shock. But I hope that you can accommodate them since they're you know
Yeah.
do you, will the FBAs be welcoming of the Afrikaan?
No, no. What's interesting, will the American suspected white supremacists be welcoming of them? Because the white people here don't really welcome too many people from anywhere, Europe or anywhere else. And do you think? Well, you never have you lived here before? Because I know you're in Australia. Do you know how the your brethren act out here? They're a little different. They're very exclusive. They don't really like people coming to into those white circles like that.
Well, we've got a large Boer community in Western Australia, and a lot of Australians don't like them. They're very entitled and kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, I'm in the Dominican Republic right now, and I'm going to do a documentary because there's a group of people here on the North Coast that are descended from FBAs. And apparently they've retained some English like language, and they go to like typical black churches. So be interesting to see. I'm going to show them a picture of you, and
Oh,
maybe they can put you up in their church.
hey, that'll be phenomenal. So you must be over there doing a little trick tour. You over there tricking off your money on them Dominican women, Dr. Davinsky?
A lot of cocaine and a lot of hookers, Tariq. It's the land of vice.
Oh, I hope those ladies make you wear a condom. We don't want that Australian AIDS over there at all. All right. I thank you so much, Dr. Davinsky. Y'all be safe over there, women. All right, y'all be safe. Y'all, you got that kangaroo AIDS. Y'all don't want that. I don't know if he has it or not, but that kangaroo AIDS, you don't want that. You don't want it. Your coochie turns into a pouch if you have sex with this white man. Y'all be careful out there. But like I was saying earlier, the good cop, bad cop routine, um, that's how you balance power. You have people going hostile, then you have somebody going as the negotiator. Again, like I say, we get fooled by that. We think that these people are on different pages. They're all on the same page. See, black folks, we get caught up in um, Republican, left wing, north, south. That's another thing. The northern white supremacists would always put this stigma on the southern white supremacists. Oh, you better be careful down there in the South. All that southern racism, all that racism in the South. The South gets a very bad rap. The South gets a very bad rap. Now, the South had a lot of Jim Crow laws, but hell, the North, they had sundown laws. Go get the book, and I've been promoting this book for 20 years, Sundown Towns. I promoted that book 20 years ago on my Mac Lessons radio. A white man, James Lowen, wrote this book talking about all of these white enclaves around America that excluded blacks or ran black people out. And many of these towns, black people could not be in them after 6 o'clock. That's why those of us growing up, especially the Gen X's, many of us growing up, we were always told, come in before the street light comes on, especially if you lived in the South places. Oh, hell, even in the North, not even in the South, but we were told, um, come inside before the street light comes on. The street lights would come on at around 6. And we were told you better be off the streets after 6 because that was the sundown time. There were unofficial and official sundown rules where they would let black folks know don't be outside after 6 o'clock. And most of those places were in northern cities. Most of the sundown towns were in the north. So they like to put this thing on the South with Jim Crow, and you got to go through the back entrance here and the side entrance there. You got to drink from that water fountain in certain parts of the South. But in the North, they were like, don't bring your ass over here at all, especially after 6 o'clock. Yeah, so we're not going to let them create that narrative. The North was always complicit with anti-black racism, ladies and gentlemen. See, we got to stop letting them play that good cop, bad cop on us. Family, when we talk about the 40 acres and a mule, that edict that was given to give us reparations to a certain degree, the 40 acres and a mule policy, um, that Lincoln's administration was going to give after the Civil War. Um, what's interesting, a lot of folks don't know, it wasn't the South that had a problem with that. What killed 40 acres and a mule was the North. It was the northern whites who were adamantly against 40 acres and a mule. I want y'all to Google that. I want y'all to look that up. Wasn't the South. All those liberal whites up there in the North, all those, oh God, that slavery is so horrible. Oh God, oh, we're abolitionists up here in the North. They're so evil down there. That's what the Civil War was about. They're like, we evil. Motherfucker, you sold me this Negro. What are you talking about? The North was selling the slavery started in the North. It started in like New England. It started in the North. So they were selling the enslaved foundational Black Americans to the Southerners and then flipped on them and said, "Oh, this is so evil. Like, how dare you?" And plus, the white abolitionists, they were doing the Sally Struthers hustle. They were like, "Oh, these downtrodden slaves, send me money so I can advocate for these blacks. Send me a whole bunch of money." So they were using us to get money for the white abolitionists. And like I said, up there in the North, the white people in the North, the minute we start talking about getting reparations, they were the ones who killed 40 acres and a mule. It was the whites in the North. Do not ever forget that. Don't let them play the South like that, like it was just the South. The South, they were doing their bullshit, but the North was just complicit. They were the most adamant about us not getting the 40 acres and a mule. So we just have to understand psychological games and warfare and words. You got to understand words. That's why when people call up saying certain things, I pick up on certain keywords that they say so I can really understand what they mean. Like a gentleman called up the other day trying to be all nice and sweet. Oh, listen, guy, listen, Tariq, I don't have a racist bone in my body, dude. I love the blacks. I got black coworkers, dude. My friends are black. I went to school with blacks. When I was in Los Angeles, I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, dude. And I was in Houston, I went to the Turkey Leg Hut, buddy. I was in Atlanta, I went to Old Lady Gang. The service was horrible, but I went, dude. So I'm not a racist at all, and I like books by Thomas Sowell and other who? Oh, red flag. See, you better know what to catch. They talk all that lovey-dovey stuff, but do you watch what they say? That gentleman called me and said he likes reading Thomas Sowell. When he said that, I said, "Uh-oh, let me ask him some more questions." Hey, brother, did George Floyd die of an overdose or was he killed? Well, dear, it's complicated, man. Autopsies say one thing, did okay. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Have a good day, sir. You see, you better pick up on words. We better understand words, and we better know how to use words. We better know how to listen, and you need to know how to spit. Understanding words and wording is very important because words can be used as weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Words are more important than weapons because, see, words shape perception and it controls reality. See, the way a narrative is framed, it can be seen as the truth or it can be seen as a lie. See, the politicians and the media and leaders, they use words to somewhat manipulate public opinion, control the masses, rewrite history. You understand? Like, colonizers used wordplay. When they would go in colonizing people, they would say, what? Well, we're going on a civilizing meeting. That would justify oppression. See, look at the words. They go in there talking like they're doing you a favor. Here, we're going to civilize people. We're going to bring Christianity. Look, these black people, they got their own communities. What we're going to do is called urban renewal. Yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to put you guys in the projects temporarily, and then we're going to do something called urban renewal, which is basically gentrify that area. You see? So words are very important, and words can conquer without a fight. Diplomacy, persuasion, propaganda, that can win battles without a single bullet being fired. Like in the book The Art of War, they teach you that the greatest victory is won without physical combat. Yeah. Do y'all hear my dog over here grunting? I got these French bulldogs. Well, they can't breathe for shit. Just in the middle of the night hawking up shit. But words can also, it can create generational influence. See, written and spoken words, see, they outlive physical weapons. See, words remain. The weapons get put up, the weapons get destroyed, the weapons get old, but words remain, and words can have an impact for generations. That's why we get old books and uncover old books with certain wordings in there that's pertinent. The right ideology can shape minds for centuries. That goes way far beyond the sword. So, understanding words are very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Religious texts, all of that stuff. Political doctrines that can influence people long after the creators of those words are gone. And also, words can destroy and words can uplift society. See, demonizing language was used to justify genocide. You understand? Powerful speeches, like what Dr. King did with I Have a Dream, that was used to mobilize millions for justice. People still use Dr. King's words to this day. You understand? They use that brother's words to this very day. They have programs with remnants of his words. Dreamer, the Dreamer program. People capitalize off the words our good brother put out there. Words can create war, words can create peace. A single speech or a document or a law can start and end a war. Like the Declaration of Independence, that led to war, while peace treaties ended those wars. Yeah? And words manipulate the legal and the financial system. See, contract laws, policies are crafted with words. That's how you get things done. The ability to understand and manipulate legal language, that can be determined By words. Who owns land? Who goes to jail? Who controls resources? See, we better get our word game together. There was a reason why they didn't like us reading. See, there was a reason. Why did the biggest thing they had against us? No, no, they can physically harm us or try to harm us, but the biggest thing is we can't let those Negroes read. You see, they made the severe punishment of us reading, us getting a hold of words, and they understood when we started learning words, that's when we became dangerous. When we learn words, we learn how to speak. That's why we started teaching ourselves tut language and all of that, when we can communicate. Because see, they understand the white supremacists, they understand people who have lower levels of articulation will lash out physically. There's a correlation between lack of vocabulary and physical violence. You understand what I'm saying? I want y'all to feel me. Sociologists, teachers, doctors, they understand people, if their vocabulary is lower, they will usually be more physically aggressive out of frustration because they can't articulate themselves. That's why you see mush mouth dudes, and I'm not trying to disparage cats if they can't speak that well, but a lot of mouth dudes, they get very violent. Yeah. When you see some violence, it's always a semi mush mouth nigga. Yeah. They're the main ones lashing out because they can articulate themselves. Look, when you see like them World Star videos, which I hate, when you see them, these are not wordsmiths that are fighting. You talking about nigga? Saying nigga, the hell you talking about? That is that they can barely articulate themselves, and out of frustration, they have to get physical. Now, the dominant society, they know that. They use that to their advantage. That's why what cops do when they pull over these cats, when they know that they got an inarticulate mush mouth, they like, oh, we got us a sitting duck. And I'm not saying that to disparage, but I'm just giving you the game. When they see they got a Negro who's not that articulate, they bait them into making a move so that these white supremacist race soldiers would be justified in harming them. See, they know how to push a button and get these dudes lashing out. They like pull these guys over. But you got me pulled over for? Oh, we got one of them. Okay. Well, look, sir. I think I smell weed in your car. You talking about I ain't got no goddamn weed in here, but I ain't got no goddamn weed in her. What you talking about? Oh, oh, you're being aggressive. You're gonna have to get out the car. I had to get that goddamn car for? Hell no, I ain't did nothing. But I got I'm gonna need backup. We got us a live one. That's what they like. They like somebody who can't really articulate themselves because they know that they're going to be more emotional. And they know that if they get this person flailing around, yelling and being emotional, that's going to justify them getting a free kill. You dig? So they know what buttons to push. They know what words to use to justify harming you and getting a promotion. You understand? Well, listen, you saw him. I feared for my life. Listen, he was flailing around and yelling and he was violent and I was fearing for my life. Yeah. You see how words can get you caught up? You see? Because words can incite revolution, words can maintain oppression. So you can control language. And when you control language, you control the ability to rebel or resist. Yeah. Because, like I said, foundational Black Americans, when we were enslaved, we were forbidden to read because literacy meant empowerment. Yeah. That meant empowerment. We could read contracts, we can read money, we can read freedom papers, we can forge freedom papers. We could do all types of things if we knew how to read. We could talk ourselves out of situations. And they don't like that. They like to keep us dumb. Just like in my guy Crooked Eye, I saw a tweet from him. He said a record label hit him up and they asked him about who's hot on the streets. He said, "Are there any new rappers who's hot on the streets?" He's like, "Yeah." And then they asked him, "Are any of them engaging in any kind of beef online or with some other rappers or something? Because that would be great to sign them." He was like, "Oh my God," he was floored. Like the record labels are looking for mushmouth dudes who are beefing with each other so that they can come in and exploit it. You understand? They love that. They love getting in the middle of a beef with some mush mouths so they can get a quick buck, so they can milk it and exploit it. A lot of the hip hop beefs that we've seen were orchestrated or fueled by the white labels. You know, many of the hip hop beefs that we've seen was fueled by them. They were in the center of it. I want y'all to think about that. The whole East West beef, that was started really, who was pushing it was Vibe magazine. We got to call them out, and Vibe has been called out for that. Vibe magazine was pushing that narrative. There wasn't really an East West beef. There was two record labels who kind of had a thing going on, Death Row and Bad Boy, but Vibe put logs on the fire and promoted it as a coastal beef, and that's when things started to spiral in another direction. And then people started getting killed. Nobody in Vibe is sitting up there untouched. Yeah. So we got to understand how words are important. Words can shape identity and culture, how people define themselves. They can determine their psychological resilience or subjugation. The term ghetto, that was historically a neutral term, but then that word became weaponized against Black people. You see? So words are very important. This is why when we use terms like foundational Black American to describe ourselves, that's those are powerful words. That's powerful because it means something. There's so many different things that's powerful about that because you're taking ownership of your identity as a lineage. Number two, you're excluding people who are not from the lineage, which is okay. Exclusion is fine. We're taught that we're supposed to just open the door for everybody. Absolutely not. Not all the time. We don't open the door for everybody all the time. Certain things culturally has to be closed off and protected. It's like your house. You don't leave your front door open. Yeah, you welcome people over. You're hospitable, but you just don't leave the door open. You leave the door open. Well, that's a trap house. You understand? A place where people can just come in and do whatever they need to do all willy-nilly. That's a bando. You know? That's a goddamn bando. And that's what they treat us as, or they used to, because we stopped that. They just drop everybody down on us. And then we're sitting here all raggedy and worn out because we done been walked on by everybody. No, we're closing the door and we're doing renovations. And the renovations look great on the lineage. It's all sparkly and shiny now. You see, you don't let everybody just come on in willy-nilly because we had that thing inviting everybody to the damn barbecue. Yeah. Oh, we got to invite him to the barbecue. The hell we do? No, we don't. We ain't got to invite nobody nowhere. And if we do, they better come in on our terms. They come in on terms that we lay down. Like, yeah, we'll rock with you if you are doing something for the lineage, if you are being an asset to the lineage. You see? So we got to look at things in those terms. Words are very, very important, ladies and gentlemen.
You've heard the buzz. You've seen the media stories. Now experience the truth for yourself. Microphone Check, the critically acclaimed documentary uncovering the true origins of hip-hop. Available now on Blu-ray and streaming on Amazon Prime. Visit microphonecheck.com to learn more and get your copy today. Microphone Check, the story hip-hop was waiting for.